Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nasha Shifra Indira and I'm from class 4B. So today in this video, I will share my arguments about issues that happened in Indonesia recently. Without any further ado, let's go to the first issues. So for the first issue is about pension money for council members who are no longer serving as council members, which is paid for life, will be a burden on the state budget. So first, it's important to know that members of the House of Representatives or DPR receive a pension or severance pay as a reward for their work. They serve for 1 or 2 terms, which is about 5 to 10 years. Former members receive a pension equal to 60% of their basic salary, which is around 2.5 million to 3 million rupiah per month, depending on their position. They also get a one-time payment of 15 million as an old age allowance or THT. This pension lasts for life. If the person receiving it passes away, their legal husband or wife will continue to receive 72% of the pension. So I disagree with giving pension to former members of the council. A lifelong pension plus continued payment to their spouse after they die will be a burden on the state budget or APBN. Most members of parliament in Indonesia are already wealthy. If they deserve a reward, it should be a one-time payment instead. Their service lasts only 1 to 2 terms, which is too short to justify a lifelong pension. So it would be better to use this money for civil servants as they work for many years and often come from lower income backgrounds. So moving on to the next issue is about Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto affirmed that the Danantara Indonesia Investment Management Agency must become a national development instrument to optimize the management of Indonesia wealth for the people's welfare. So, like as usual, what is Danantara? Danantara is an organization that manages investment in Indonesia, handling more than just the government budget. It, the goals is to improve the management of large state assets through better coordination. So, Danantara was created based on Singapore's Temasek model with hopes of making state-owned enterprises more efficient and competitive. However, some people worry that it could lead to political interference and corruption, as there have been many corruption cases in Indonesian source. If managed well, Danantara could help grow Indonesia's economy and make it so stronger in global markets. So, even though Danantara seems like a great idea, it has a high risk of corruption. Managing large amounts of money and assets can lead to corruption if there is no strict supervision and transparency. So even though our president ensuring that Danantara will have strict supervision and transparency, still, looking at past cases in Indonesia, it seems unlikely that corruption can be completely avoided. So I disagree with this, since Danantara was formed as a result of budget efficiency. If this goal fails or faces problems, it could lead to a major economic disaster for Indonesia. So for the last issue is about hashtag kabur aja dulu, a trend of leaving Indonesia for better opportunities. So, after I watched 3 videos that provided, the video is about Stay or Leave the Kabur Aja Dulu phenomenon, explore why many young Indonesians want to move abroad. This viral trend reflects their frustration with low salaries, limited job opportunities, and lack of career growth in Indonesia. So here's what I got from watching the video. So why are people leaving? Many people are feel unhappy with Indonesia economy, high living costs, and government policies. They see better career opportunities and higher salaries in other country. And then the risk of brain drain. Many skilled and educated workers are leaving, which could slow down Indonesia's development. And then what government's response? The government recognized this issue and is trying to create better job opportunities, though some policies raise concerns. Even though there are high salary in other country, there are also challenges of working abroad. While moving abroad offers better pay, migrant workers also face risks like exploitation and human trafficking. So this trend highlights young people's dissatisfaction with Indonesia's job market. If not addressed, Kabur Aja Dulu could harm the country's workforce. The government must create better job opportunities so people don't feel the need to leave. So the Kabur Aja Dulu trend has both challenge and benefit. So here are some benefits in my opinion. First, you can get higher income and better job opportunities. And then the second is skill. You can develop your skill and get a global experience. Then for the third is access to better education and living standards. So for the last, you can escape from economic and political uncertainty. While Kabur Aja Dulu has risk, it also offers many benefits both for individuals and Indonesia's economy. So I agree with this. Okay, maybe that's all from me. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.